You are listening to This is Oklahoma, hosted by Mike Hearn, telling stories of Oklahomans and those that have made it their home.
What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another episode of This is Oklahoma. Mike Hearn here, your host, back with another episode. Exciting news. This podcast is presented by the Oklahoma Hall of Fame, who have been telling Oklahoma's story through its people since 1927. Follow them online at oklahomahof.com, and then definitely follow them on Instagram for all the information that you need, because I'm sure that's where you follow us as well, at oklahomahof. Let's get into today's episode. So if you're watching on Facebook and YouTube, this studio looks familiar. Thank you, Mr. Stephen Cook, for letting us borrow your studio. And you're in the room, but you're obviously not within camera, probably within microphone range. But appreciate you, mate. This is an awesome studio, and obviously you got a beautiful American flag in view for everyone watching. My guest today is a mutual friend now of all of us. We met last week when I recorded with Stephen, and now we're sharing the story as well. So please welcome to the podcast, Mr. DJ Boles. That is Oklahoma Gourmet Popcorn.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Thank you for having me on.
That's all right. How does it feel sometimes when when people are like, hey, what do you do? Like, I deal in popcorn.
Yeah, it's a question that's kind of difficult to ask quite a bit, especially when I was first trying to start the business. People were like, you're going to open a popcorn store?
Yeah.
And I was like, yes. It was very hard to explain to people, but now that it's been existing, when I get the question asked, it's a little bit easier to answer, because I'm like, I got 2 locations. They're like, yeah.
They're like, oh, I'm legit
you
now.
You did it twice? Yeah, exactly. So it's a good conversation starter, but it does lead to a lot of questions. But
yeah. What's the question you hate getting asked the most?
And I hate getting asked?
Yeah.
When people ask me, like, oh, I bet you're tired of popcorn now. I get that all the time, because they think I just sit at work and eat it all day long, I guess. But that's not the case. But I get that question about every single time. You're like, are you tired of eating popcorn? I'm like,
no. No, never.
No.
Like, how do you taste test? Well, we go to the movies and I sneak my own popcorn in.
Exactly.
Sit there for 4 hours. So 2 locations.
Mm-hmm.
Tell us where they are.
I got one in Moore off 19th Street, and then I got one in Edmond off 33rd and Broadway.
Okay. And the Moore was the first one?
Moore was the first one.
Close to home?
Yep. Grew up in Tuttle, and how I decided to choose Moore was when I was in high school, we always went to hang out in Moore. And then when you were in Moore, you saw people from Newcastle, Bridge Creek, Yukon, Mustang, Moore, Norman. And
sure.
I was like, that's the place to be, And after that tornado went through there in 2013,
mm-hmm.
2013. Yeah, 2013, we went and helped. Me and a couple of my friends went and helped clean up some stuff. And, being from a small town, I got to see this town, this big town come together. And they have, so even though there's a lot of people in there, they have a small town kind of spirit. And I was like, I can get behind that, I think. So.
Yeah. So you grew up in Tuttle, mm-hmm. high school, family, all the rest of it. How's that?
Oh, I loved it. I loved it. I mean, that's how I met Steve, I moved to Tuttle. I lived in Mustang till 4th grade, which is just across the river. And I moved to Tuttle when I was in 5th grade. And, I mean, almost all my best friends are from Tuttle, My college roommates were from Tuttle, except 2 of them. And a lot of people I still hang out with today.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So played all the sports growing up.
Yep. Yeah, did all the sports. And then actually, my first 10 employees were from Tuttle.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So luckily my hometown helped me find staff.
Yeah. So you grow up in Tuttle. What's family do?
My family, so my dad, he works for Vistar, so he's, as you learn the story, he's a big part of why I have a popcorn business, and he's a partner in it, and he does concession supplies.
Okay.
He sells to movie theaters and ballparks and all that stuff, and I think he's actually in the transition of a different kind of position, where he'll be more focusing on I can't even remember what it was, but he's switching. I think he's going to switch from movie theaters to more focusing on like the wholesale side of things,
Okay.
like getting it in more places that they don't already do.
Sure.
Because the company he works for is pretty big, and it's like they're almost out of movie theaters, you know.
Yeah.
And he's like, I want to sell. Then my mom, she's a stay-at-home mom, so that was kind of awesome. We never had to go to daycare, and we got to go home and like play with our siblings, and she was always there, so that was, we were blessed to have that situation.
Yeah.
And then my brother's about to graduate college, and he's going to work at Insight Global. So you might. And then my sister, she's just recently. Oh, I guess she's been married for a couple of years now.
Nice.
But, yeah.
Older.
Yeah,
sister?
we got an older sister, younger brother. Then we lost our youngest brother a couple years ago.
Sorry to hear that.
Oh yeah, it's no fun.
Yeah, for sure. I remember you said that. So you have a fun run every year for him, right?
Yeah,
First weekend in August.
Yeah, the first weekend in August we do a run in memory of Cade, and like there's the way Tuttle reacted when that happened was huge. I mean, the town backed us up like crazy. There was a big.
Yeah.
He was number 3, and there was a big 3 on their football field, the softball team. So, I mean, everyone supported it, and we wanted to do something that we could give back to his peers kind of thing.
Sure.
So we do a fun run in his memory. He passed away in 2017, so this year will be the 3rd anniversary.
Yeah.
And we do this run, and we raise money for, and we've given to the Children's Hospital, and then we give back to his peers, whether it be sports organizations or something in need in Tuttle. So we just kind of give back and try to let his peers not necessarily benefit, but kind of keep him involved in some sort of way.
Yeah, definitely. Keep it going, keep his memory going, all the way he was, and all that stuff.
Exactly.
That's the best thing from like just keeping that stuff going, isn't it? It's like because you kind of get to feel like he's still a part of things. The community still centers around him. Whenever it is, especially a small community like Tuttle.
Yeah, and it's really easy to always remember like that I lost a brother, but it's easy to forget that those kids lost a classmate, a friend, a student. So it's a humbling reminder often as well.
Yeah. So you said Dad's very kind of entrepreneurial, and Mum, you had the run of the mill back home then, right? Mum would kind of let you guys do, well, I say, probably didn't let you guys do what you wanted to do, but your mum was always around and got to do all that kind of cool stuff. With Dad being in like the I guess, concession stand business, was there candy in the house literally every day? Yeah,
forever.
Yeah.
I mean, we used to, it was kind of awesome because he would bring home new candy that the movie theaters were looking to sell, and we would get to sample it.
Yeah.
So we've had our fair share of cavities.
It's like Halloween
all the time. Our house was the place to go during Halloween.
Of course it was.
Yeah, because he would pass out like 12-pound, like 6-pound, 12-pound. I mean, insane size crunch
it's like
bars.
going to the Sam's equivalent of a Halloween house, and she's like, "What do you want?"
Exactly.
Open the door. The boxes of stuff.
Yes.
Yeah,
it was awesome.
So you're probably sick of candy right now, then.
No, dude, I am a sweet tooth.
Yeah.
I have to really try hard to not eat candy.
Yeah.
I mean, I do enjoy it. Other than that, I'm pretty healthy. But
okay.
If I see candy,
what was the go-to then? What was your favorite?
Skittles.
Skittles.
Yes.
Like the originals.
Mm-hmm. I mean, any form of Skittles.
Okay.
But I'm a big Skittles guy.
Yeah, I'm Skittles sours. I'll do those.
Dude, sour gummy bears.
Oh, I haven't tried those yet.
Those are up there.
Okay.
I'll bring you some. I'll get you some. I'll get you.
There's probably, in America, there's probably a Skittles cereal. I know there's a Sour Patch Kids cereal.
There is?
Is there a Skittles cereal?
I don't know.
No? Maybe.
That would be awesome, though.
So, but I mean, yeah, growing up in a house with candy all the time, it's not a bad place, is it?
No, it's not a bad place. And it's kind of ironic how I ended up I sell candy at my store, but it's kind of a weird foreshadowing, I guess you could say.
Yeah. So, played a lot of sports in high school growing up? Mm-hmm. All the sports?
Yeah, I did track, football, wrestling, and powerlifting. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, I did those.
And then during like, I guess, high school, did you kind of have a part-time job? Were you working or going towards college, that kind of thing?
No, I actually didn't. I mean, I worked like some odd labor jobs, but never had like a a job. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like I would do something for someone, then they give me money, and and they were usually labor intensive, you know, and but my dad. He always, you know, like you want to give your kids what you didn't have, and like opportunity wise. So he was like, if you are in sports and you have good grades, pretty much, then you won't work. But as soon as you're not in sports, you're getting a job. You know that because, you know, at that age, it's not necessary. I mean, in my family, he was more about the life lessons we're going to learn kind of deal, and if we were slacking or whatever, you know, he probably would have made us get a job. But he allowed us to put our all into sports for, you know.
Yeah. So, any big accomplishments in sports in high school?
I mean, yeah, it's just kind of funny that as you grow up, you know, everything that was important, it gets less and less as you go on in life. So, but yeah, like my freshman year, we won state in wrestling as a team, and they haven't lost since. I mean,
really?
So I think they're going on their 12th in a row in Tuttle.
Were you guys the first ones to win?
We were the first of the 12. Now Tuttle had one in history,
right? But like of this streak, you were the first. That's kind of cool.
Yeah, and that was the same year I talked Steve into coming out for the team. So, so he's got his,
he's got a championship.
He's got himself a ring too. But then the football team was always very dominant in Tuttle. When I was in high school, we never won state, but we had a couple undefeated seasons, but didn't make it to the big game kind of thing. And but yeah, I went to like state in all of my sports, but it was, you know, it's a while ago. It's kind of funny talking about it because I was like, you know, it's like, that's what I did back in the day. But but that's kind of funny that you bring that up because like I remember when I was graduating, you know, I was talking to my dad about like, oh, this is the time of my life. Oh, he was like, if this is the greatest time in your life, then, you know, I feel sorry for you kind of thing. And as I've gotten older, I was like, yeah, dude. Because, like, my life, to me, it just keeps getting better and better.
Right.
And especially, you know, just not having to go to school. But, like, you know, like, my glory days are always kind of the days I'm just living in at the moment.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's kind of funny talking about that.
Were you thinking about going to like school, university with like, was there any like scholarships on the line or anything like that when you were going to university? Yeah.
I'm looking back, I probably, my body size, I probably should have stuck to wrestling a little bit more, but I went to college to play football at Southwestern, Oklahoma, because, you know, I have that sob story, like, I hurt my knee or whatever, and, you know.
Down in Weatherford?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then I went to Weatherford for a year, and then I transferred to OSU to try and play football there. And
how was that experience?
It was awesome.
To walk on at OSU?
Yeah, I mean, I loved it, minus the fact they didn't want me to be on the team.
Hey guys, can I just bring water to you on the field?
Yeah, and it was one of those things where because I talked to them when I was in high school. Okay. But like that, you know, that's the same old story. Like, I got hurt, they didn't want me. Who knows if I would have been healthy if they wanted me then or whatever.
Right.
But anyways, I did that, and then after being there for a while, one of my friends, Blake, had walked on the team the year before, and it worked out for him. He was a little bit bigger than me. Yeah. But anyways, I tried to walk on over there. I emailed them, and they were like, yeah, come on. I was like, sweet. You
really?
know?
What?
Exactly. Yeah. And so I went out there, and I did the best I've ever done in anything, you know? Like, I ran the fastest I've ever run. I lifted the most. I jumped the highest. I was like, oh, this is it. You know? And then I got an email that was like, no. I was like, no. Okay. All right.
So at least you know, though. That's the good thing.
Exactly. And it wasn't like I couldn't blame it on anything. You know what I mean? Because it wasn't like, oh, I didn't run that fast. I was like, that was the best I got. Yeah. You know? And so it was like an interesting transition because I was like, I've never not done anything athletic. So I kind of went this. And I started golfing because I mean, I always golfed, but I just started golfing in the week. And I ended up getting on some like B team and went to a tournament in Texas with OSU.
Nice.
But not with the OSU, but like a little subgroup of golf. And we got to wear OSU logos and stuff. But we went and played in this golf tournament with like all the Texas schools, like Baylor, Texas, TCU, and I've never played with all the rules, you know. I was like, this is terrible.
Yeah.
And I was like,
you're like, wait, I can't pick it up.
I can't kick it over around this tree.
I can't
and
tee it up a little bit more.
And and I've been playing. I was playing at early wine and stuff, and then we go play at this course, and I was like, none of these fairways are straight. You're like, what is
there's
this?
trees, there's water, there's bunkers.
Yeah, and it was a little bit more intense. So I was like, I don't know if I have the time to get this good. So then I did that, and then my senior year I walked on the wrestling team, and due to like Title IX stuff, I really couldn't get on the mat necessarily.
Okay.
And so I just had to watch. But it was still an awesome experience.
Which OSU's wrestling is
very
good.
I mean, if I really wanted to do it, I probably should have gone somewhere else and but I still enjoyed sitting there. And my best friend, like a lot of my friends were in there. So I just like sat there and watched for a semester and a half. And then when I wrote this business plan for the popcorn store, I was kind of like, I think I'm just going to go try and open a business kind of deal. But that semester kind of gave me some redemption for not going through with it in high school. But I felt it was awesome just sitting there.
So you've always had like sports and competitive nature all the time. Like I don't know many people who go from like, I'm going to play football to, I'm going to try and play football at OSU and then play golf and then go back to wrestling. Those are three fairly different sports, right?
Well, and I can't stop. Like now I help coach, high school wrestling and then like last year I really was thinking about doing an MMA fight because I was like, and I still want to deep down inside, but when
I got some connections.
Don't tempt me.
We can get you in.
Sounds good to me. But I was doing jiu-jitsu and broke my leg.
Where would you do that?
So the guy I helped coach with in Mustang, you need to have him on.
Okay.
His stories are phenomenal. His name's Brian Picklow.
Okay.
And he's a Big Ten champ, All-American, and he made the judo Olympic team. And then due to some like politic things, he didn't make it, even though he made it. And he's an Oklahoma City police officer, and he runs this. It's called Matrix. Okay. And they do freestyle judo, jiu-jitsu, like whatever.
Yeah,
he's a all-around martial
Not somebody
artist.
You want to try and run away from.
No, not really someone you ever want to do anything bad to.
Yeah.
But he's a dangerous man, but he's awesome.
So you coach wrestling. So you obviously roll as well with the kids and stuff.
Oh yeah. That's a lot of fun, especially because I got brought in there to help. His son when he was a freshman. He's big now, and I don't know if he needs my help anymore, but he just signed with OU, him and his brother, so they'll be wrestling over there. Nice. But yeah.
Is Tuttle got a pretty good reputation for wrestling? Mm-hmm. Very good.
Yeah, and it goes way back. I mean, Greg Henning and his kids, they kind of started it. I think they have the most state titles in a family. Like, really? Yeah, because I don't know how many the dad won, but I know two of the sons were 4-timers and one of them was a 3-timer. Yeah. So they have, but then the Smith family's second, I believe. Okay. And John Smith is a legend, but.
So naturally, being a coach, and that's why you want to get in the ring then, because I guess MMA and UFC isn't the new form of fighting and stuff.
Well, I don't know what it is. I think it's just, I don't know if it's my refusal to grow up and let go, or
so you got punched in the face.
Yeah, exactly. That's like part of me is like, I was like, I'd love to do it, but I don't really want someone trying to choke me out. Yeah. But whatever, who knows? I'll probably end up doing it one day just because. But I have a couple friends that do it. Just like being in the world, some guys just like, they're a little bit more brave than me, I guess, because they're just like, I'm doing it, and they fully commit. And I think part of me is like, they're doing that as their career path. Where I was like, I like doing the popcorn business.
Yeah, I can't show up to a sales meeting with a black eye and a broken nose.
Exactly. Or it might. This be good.
Yeah. Why are you missing your front teeth? Exactly. Wow. I got punched in the face, but I won.
Yeah. Hopefully that'd be the story.
Yeah.
But.
So, is that a legit thing for 2020, or is that maybe I'd like to, but I've got to be forced into it?
Well, I haven't written it down, but I have a long list of things I want to do, because I actually, when I was little, I grew up saying I wanted to own movie theaters. Okay. Because I like movies. Because when I was little, some firefighter or something came to the school and was like, if you do what you love, you'll never work a day in your life. I was like, I love movies. I'm going to open a movie theater because I get to watch movies. That's what I thought. And I literally kept that all the way to college. I went to school because I was going to own my own business, but it was going to be a movie theater. And then I ended up, opening the popcorn stores. And, but I mean, in high school, I have a lot of things I'd like to do, but in high school, when you're graduating, I wrote down, I want to own a movie theater. I want to be in a movie. I want to, because I was like, I want to write a successful song. I want to write a book. I want to be on SNL. And since then, I've added, like, I want to do a stand-up comedy night.
Okay.
I think that'd be so scary.
Take some real,
I'm not saying
I don't know what the word is for that, but it takes a lot to do that, doesn't it?
I'm not saying it'll be good, but I was like, I want to do it so bad. But yeah, and but since then, like, I opened my business. I've been in 3 movies. I'm not saying I think I've been in 3 movies for a total of 1 minute and 30 seconds.
But you ticked it. It's on the
exactly.
You ticked it
Yeah,
off the
I
list.
ticked it.
Yeah.
And then I wrote some like song lyrics, but
Do you sing?
I do not. I mean, I do, but no one really wants to hear
Just
that.
in the shower?
Yeah, everywhere. But nowhere is recorded, unless someone steals my phone, because when I write songs, it's usually I'm in the car and I just kind of freestyle them almost.
Yeah. So there's the ticket to anyone listening.
Yeah, if you want to sing some songs.
Get in that phone.
Exactly. Yeah, if you want to hear some stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I'm a big, like, when I check something off, I want something to fill the gap.
Sure.
And I don't really like idle time, especially because I'm a single, guy at the moment, and I just want to stay busy. And so, like, when I got the popcorn business, which that alone keeps me busy, but like I can't help but just kind of want to do some other stuff, especially like the coaching. A lot of that came from when my brother passed away, and that was a real big. I don't even know how to say, like, therapeutic almost.
Sure.
And, lost a brother. And then this Pickla family, let me in. It wasn't like my family was not enough, but there a hole happened and this family filled it, And then I just kind of got addicted to it.
Yeah.
And so I love that because, I get that these kids are my brother's age, and I'm allowed to still have that brother bond. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
so I kind of get to be the big brother coach, and he gets on to him, and so I love that. And then around when he passed away was around the same time I was opening my Edmond store.
Okay.
So that was 2017. I opened in 2016, and I guess I'll talk about that at some point. But I opened in 2016, so a year later that happened, and I was trying to open the Edmond store, and for a while, I was just like, I don't care about any of this anymore, And I was like, I've been spending so much time doing like just working a lot, and I was like, this doesn't matter, It's a means to put food on the table and stuff like that, and I've loved that I haven't really got past that. My job has turned into, it's what it's not who I am, it's what I do.
Yeah.
And, that's just something my dad preaches a lot. Like, whether it was sports or something, it just took me 25 years to figure it out. But like, my job isn't who I am. It's something I do to feed myself. And this coaching is, coaching, and I'm also on like an eye board at the Children's Hospital.
Sure.
These outside things that I get to do in a benevolent way kind of deal humble me a lot, because I'm like, I have time to do other things.
Especially the Children's Hospital stuff.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
We should have an episode going out pretty soon with Jeremiah, who's assistant director, something like that. He does
everything.
There. He does a lot of things down there. Yeah. So you're on the board? I'm
on an eye board, like an innovative young professional board.
I think I just applied for that, so hopefully I get on.
No way.
Yeah. So when I was there with Jeremiah, I basically said, hey, how can I help? And he's like, well, you can be on this board if you want. So I applied.
I'll vote for you.
Yeah, appreciate it. Hopefully I get on that. It'll be a lot of fun. Because I met him at the golf tournament, which is
where I met you.
Yeah.
And just
didn't remember. We didn't have a clue who each other was. But
we were focused. We were focused on the golf game.
Definitely. I did not win that day. It was not a good day for golf, but we had a good day for sure. Like, it was a good event.
Yeah,
but
I thought you were for sure. I thought you were walking away with that.
Yeah, I hate losing so much.
That's awesome.
So you mentioned you write things down a lot, like things you want to do.
Yeah.
So that's like big, kind of like you have goals and you write all your goals down and believe in that stuff?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, if I write it down, I usually get it done.
Okay.
That's kind of how it works, and I don't know why. I don't know if it's psychological or if I see it or if I love checking it off.
Yeah.
I know that I do like checking things off.
So do you write them down like every single day? You write down your goals?
Well, I write, so at the beginning of, the year, I always write down goals. And those are kind of like big goals. And, whether it's, like read my Bible or, work out so many days a week or, like one of the goals last year was like I've always, and yeah, I have to make them more specific as they go on.
Sure.
But last year I was so stoked about this, but I've wrote song lyrics since high school, but I've like kept it private because I was like, I don't really want to tell people. I want people to listen to them, but I definitely don't want them to read them.
Right.
There's a difference. And, anyways, so it's been a couple of years, and then last year I was like, I'm going to try to get them out there. That was my goal. Mm-hmm. And so I just started Googling like songwriting Oklahoma, because there's a lot of famous people that, but my crutch is I can't sing or play instruments.
So you need someone to sing
I gotta find someone to fit. Yeah. So I Googled this thing, and they were having like a songwriting deal from people that were from Oklahoma in like 3 weeks.
Yeah.
I was like,
great timing.
I'm going. So I went, and then I joined this Nashville Songwriters Association. It was like $200 like sign up fee. So I was going to get invested, and then you can, from this, you can submit your song lyrics, but they have to be recorded. I had 2 that someone had sang before.
Okay.
So I started sending those in, and then I got some good feedback. I got some bad feedback, but then that was it. Yeah. I didn't have any more recorded, and then so I kind of backed off. So this year I have submit 5 songs. So that means I got to get 5 recorded somehow. So that's, something I got to work on.
The same guy or same girl singing it?
Well, this girl, she sung them right when I wrote them, because when I was writing them in the beginning, I was like all about it.
Yeah. And
then, and that was my freshman year of college. And then, I don't know. She lives in like Indiana, and I think like she's kind of moved. I think she does stuff with her life.
Yeah,
that way.
Yeah, sure.
So it's kind of hard to like email her and be like, hey, will you take a couple hours out of your life to do this for me? Exactly.
Yeah.
And put music to it. Because if she ever did, that'd be awesome. But I have she's a friend, Kaylin Quetzel. I can't say her name correctly. Cole Edsel. Colso.
Yeah.
I think that's wrong. I probably butchered it, but she's like a Tuttle girl, and she wrote and sang a song. It was pretty awesome. And I messaged her. I was like, hey, what do you want to do? And she said yes. So so we're gonna hopefully that's the beginning of the
yeah. So that's one of the things that just because that's on the list to write down, and
so that's one of those things I love to do.
Yeah.
Is I know that sounds like I don't know how it sounds.
Hey, people make millions of dollars writing songs. So
you tell me. That's why I'm so motivated to do it. And I was like, I'm gonna, because if I send out 100 of them and 50 of them or 20 of them do okay, what?
Yeah.
I got paid to do something I wrote down.
Right.
That's what I'm talking about. So it's and I like to do it. So if I could ever make that a career, then it'd be awesome.
So, anything else interesting on the goal list right now?
Trying to look back at my goals. Well, like me and my brother, we actually we started preaching a little bit last year.
Yeah.
It's like terrifying to do, but
like just kind of like college class, like college, or legit church,
at church.
Yeah.
And it's like terrifying, but it's like, when you have to teach something to somebody, you actually get more out of it than ever. Yeah. It's like the best way to learn.
Especially being uncomfortable on stage.
Oh, dude. Yeah. And especially trying to, teach the Bible, because you can't really get it wrong. If you're doing a presentation in class, you can just like make stuff up.
Sure.
And be like,
Yeah,
y'all don't care.
60-75% of the people there don't know what's fact.
But that is pretty nerve-wracking. So I don't necessarily want to preach, but I do want to prepare like sermons. Okay. So I like have prepared like 5 sermons, and that's just like a form of study that I was like, I actually get a lot out of that. Like if I'm trying to learn to teach somebody, then it's so that's on there.
Yeah.
Then I got find a wife on there.
You don't need one of those.
I beg to differ. But yeah, so that's on the goal list. It's been on. See that one I've written down a couple times. I haven't got that. So I guess I'm not. I'm on like 98%. But that, and then with the popcorn business, I want to grow the wholesale.
Sure.
So I did the location thing. You know, I had 1 location. I went to 2, and then the 3rd year I had a seasonal one at an outlet mall.
Okay.
And that was pretty. You know, it didn't go as well as I wanted it to. And then
Which outlet mall was that?
The outlet mall off 40.
Okay.
Yeah. Over there, you probably passed
close
that.
to me. Yeah.
And so I had that out there for the winter season of 2018. So I just signed a 3-month lease, and then I started realizing, I was like, just because you have more locations doesn't mean more money. You know, usually means more money going out because it's more equipment, more rent, more employees. Mm-hmm. And, you know, but what's funny to like, you know, people's eyes, the more locations, the better you're doing, you know?
Yeah.
So I get that question a lot. Like, when you open a new one, I was like, I don't want to.
Yeah.
I was like, I want to grow the wholesale business. I want to do. So my goal for the popcorn store this year is to raise wholesale business, you know, and that means I want my popcorn in other businesses.
Sure.
And because
on the shelves.
Yeah. And because that way, you know, during our slow times or whatever, that wholesale business, hopefully the people that we sell to are busy, you know, so it keeps us busy. And I think that is so much easier for me as a salesman and a marketer to just like narrow my goal down, like where are places that could potentially sell my popcorn. Because for the first year, I just walked around businesses like with popcorn, like, hi, here's popcorn. Like I just opened a popcorn store, you know, and that worked. Yeah. But it's not going to get my business to where I want it. Because, you know, there's places I love to go eat, and I'll eat there 3 times a year. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And especially popcorn being a luxury snack, people love and support that business, but it's not something they're going to go to every single day. You know, it's not like a chick, like we don't serve lunch or dinner.
Right.
Like this is a out of the ordinary, you know, snack.
When I think of snacks, I don't think of popcorn.
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly. And now there's people that are in more and that, you know, I've developed such a good relationship with that they come in, and you know that's the other part about like being a business owner is when you meet people, it's kind of awesome to get that relationship built, but then they'll bring their family in to meet me. Yeah. And you know, and I love it, but you know, I need to start like taking pictures of them or something so I'm really good at the faces, but like names sometimes I'm like, man, you know, they get to remember me. It's easy because my name has 2 letters in it. And I'm the popcorn store. But I've actually got pretty good at it now. Yeah. But now I spend a lot of time at both stores. So I get a lot of like, you know, messages like, oh, you don't work anymore, do you? I was like, no, you just missed me. I promise.
Yeah. You just missed me again.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh,
exactly.
Again.
Yeah.
But so the popcorn thing, right?
Yep.
So I know the story, you know, but we'll dive into it a lot more. And I know that it started as a business plan in school for a class, right?
Yes, sir.
First of all, when you're in class and you think like, there's 1,000,001 things you could make a business in school, right? Why popcorn was the first choice? Because from then you're like, I'm just writing the business plans for a class. I don't actually think I'm going to do this,
exactly.
Right? That was the feeling.
No, exactly.
So was it like, I mean, there's 1,000,001. Why popcorn?
Well, yeah, there's a lot of crazy stuff to it, and there's like a weird foreshadowing moment my freshman year of high school because I wrote my freshman year of college because I wrote the business plan my senior year, the fall semester. A lot of it has to do with my dad.
Does it go back to loving movies as well?
Oh no, it's all from loving movies. Okay, because I wanted to own a movie theater.
Sure,
and I have I think I have a business plan that I can do both. I have that idea in my back pocket for one of these days.
Warren Theatre is now going to be called DJ Boles Theatre.
Yeah.
Heard it here first.
Yeah, you heard it here first. But no, I think one day I could do a drive-in. Bring back the drive-in.
Okay.
With a popcorn store as the hub, and I want to build a huge. I don't want to give my secrets away, but I want to build a huge like like when you go to Soda Pops why do you go there?
When you go where?
Is that the Arcadia place?
Pops. Yeah, Pops. Yeah,
you go there to see the big Coke bottle.
Sure, yeah, and take a picture in front of it.
Exactly.
That's
So I think I want to do like a drive-in with a huge kernel.
On Route. Is Tuttle on Route 66?
No.
No.
Little off.
A little south.
A little south. But yeah, I'd like to do that one of these days. But yeah, so the paper, a lot of it just started with my dad, because I remember when I was in high school, he told me something about, because he sells the like popcorn stores in Texas, and he used to mention it. And because he's always wanted to do, I mean, I think he used to own he used to do farmers insurance, so he's been his own boss in a lot of areas. He used to build houses, and but I was like, he told me about the popcorn stores, and I thought popcorn stand, like a lemonade stand. I was like I want a business, man.
Yeah.
And so anyways, that was always in the back of my head. But like my freshman year of college, we had to write this is like the foreshadowing moment. We had to write like a instructive paper. You know how you have to like write all the steps or whatever, but we had to do it for what we thought our potential future job was going to be. And I was like, well, I'm going to own movie theaters. And I'm a freshman in college. There's still this idea in my head. And I was like, so I'll teach people how to use a popcorn machine, because what else was I good? Yeah. And so I called this manufacturer that I met through my dad, and they offered to send me up this popcorn kettle to like show the kids. I was like, no, that's an expensive piece of equipment.
Right.
And so one of my first papers in college was showing people how to use a popcorn machine. And ironically enough, that's what I do for a living. But then my senior year, I was doing a sports management minor, because I thought it'd be cool to be a sports agent or something.
Yeah.
And because my best friend, he went to play for the Dallas Cowboys, and we watched Entourage a lot.
Oh, yeah.
Have you ever seen that?
Yeah, I love that.
I wanted to be like Turtle or his guy. And
I'll do anything.
Exactly. I was like, I'll live in your house and I'll kind of be your agent. Yeah. But when it started looking real, I was like, Blake, I got to get a law degree. I got to do,
it's a legit thing. And you got to be accepted into the NFL.
Exactly,
it is a legit process.
And well, when we realized he was legit going to go, I was like, I'm legit not.
No,
I was like,
all
you
these
don't
$1 million
need me.
contracts, I do not want to mess things up.
Exactly. I was like, I'd love to be a part of it, but you're not going to get any good deals, because
who did he sign with?
Dallas Cowboys.
No, I know, but who's his agent? Is she in town? Is it a woman?
Yeah,
it's Kelly. Kelly Masters.
Kelly Masters.
She's been on the podcast.
I was gonna say you had
awesome.
her, because I was looking through it, and I was like, oh, he's had her on.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's
she's
Kelly
awesome.
Masters. Yeah, and so yeah, she's super cool. And I actually went to dinner with him and the agent and some of the guys that she was about to sign. Mm-hmm. Never felt so small in my life. I was like, all right, maybe next time. I was glad we were sitting down.
Maybe in another life, I
took the picture. Let's just say that. I didn't get to be in it, thank goodness, because now when we're in pictures, people are like, dude, you are so small. I was like, no, he's just very, very
this guy's
big.
Just like 6'8".
I was like, but so ironically, I was like, dude, I'm dropping that sports management thing. And so when I dropped it, I got in this retail management class. Mm-hmm. And in this retail management class, the big project for and it was a one night a week. It was Tuesday night for 3 hours. Mm-hmm. It was awful. But her whole deal was to read or to make a business plan for a business in Stillwater that wasn't there. And I remember my dad mentioned this popcorn stuff. So I was like, I'm going to make a popcorn business. And the title of my paper was Oklahoma Gourmet Popcorn. And I just made it up. I mean, I made up everything in that paper, And then when I was doing the competitive analysis, I couldn't find popcorn stores. And there are popcorn stores in Oklahoma, I found out later. And I didn't invent what I thought I invented.
Yeah.
But, I wrote it, and during that competitive analysis, at that moment, I was like, I wonder if this could be real. So anyways, I did the paper, got a C on it, I took it home to my dad over Christmas break. I was like, dude, I wrote the business plan. Like, check it out. And he like looked it over and he was like, dude, this is awesome.
This is legit.
Yeah.
Let's go.
And I was like, sweet. My professor didn't think so clearly. But so I did that. And at this point I was like, probably not going to wrestle. I was sitting there for a whole semester.
Senior year.
Yeah. And this was at the end of my fall semester. So I was like, probably.
So you really got to start thinking about what you want to do with your life when you graduate.
Exactly. I was like, I'm wrestling forever. Even if I get on the mat, what's going to happen? So I was just like, I stopped that. And then my spring semester, that February took the business plan to a bank pretty much just to see, like, is this legit? Mm-hmm. And I was still in college and got a business loan somehow.
Yeah.
I got
from a bank in Tuttle.
From a bank in Tuttle.
Okay.
Yes, exactly. And that had to have helped. I mean, he was my superintendent and all this stuff, but still giving a small business loan to me that, I was working at a little
Can
lumber
you say
yard.
how much it is?
Huh?
Are you allowed to say how much it is?
I mean, yeah, it wasn't enough.
Maybe a small loan of $1 million.
Yeah. It was not enough, man.
Yeah.
But to me at the time, it was more money than I ever thought.
Somebody's giving me money.
Yeah. And it was like a $20,000 business loan. And so I just remember him saying, "Congratulations, you're in debt." And I was like, oh, what have I done? I mean, at this point, I was just like, I just should have went to work for someone else. Yeah, because I was like, this is, I kind of, for a second, for a second, I let doubt creep in. Then I was like, no, I got this. You know? And I think a lot of that has to do with, like, sports mentality that you learn. Like, I can't dunk, but if you ask me, I'd try.
Yeah.
I was like, I might be able to today, and I always have that with everything. Like, there's a lot of things I can't do, but I'll try. Mm-hmm. I bet I can, and then I don't. Then I'm like, all right, I can't do that until next time.
Yeah.
But, so I did that. And then, so that it became very real at that moment. I was like, oh my goodness.
So, but you're still in school at this point.
Yeah. I was still in school. So,
so you're paying interest on this $20,000?
Not yet.
Not yet.
So there's a lot of, I don't really remember. I had a leeway time, they gave me some time to potentially make money, stuff like that.
Sure.
But that wasn't as worrisome as when I signed the lease and more. I had to start paying rent.
Yeah.
Because they do the same thing. You do a down payment, but you have to start paying rent at a certain time. And so the goal was get open before then.
Do you build out and all the rest of it?
Yeah.
And then,
So, I mean, I signed a lease in March and I graduated in May. The day after graduation, I drove down to Texas to pick up popcorn equipment. I visited that popcorn store where I kind of bought my starting flavors, and he showed me kind of how to work some machines, and then drove back. And literally that whole summer, I built the inside of my store. So it was a white wall because it was one of those buildings that got taken out by that tornado.
Okay.
Like there's holes in the ground. They kept the foundation and rebuilt. Yeah. So I had to fill in a lot of stuff, but I had to build out the entire store, and I wasn't paying anyone else to do it, because we were strapped, and this whole time, and I'm not getting paid for anything over the whole summer, so my bank account's just like doot, 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 and I was like, no.
Ramen noodles.
I know. I was like, I hope this works.
Yeah.
And so we did that and opened. I mean, there's some funny stories, I guess, in between this, but we opened on August 2nd, 2016, and I graduated in May. So from May to August was just a full-on go, and I remember, like, there was no book or that was like, here, this is how you open a business. But all I know is everyone I told I was opening a business that had, they were like, good luck.
Yeah.
That's terrible.
There's always a hater, yeah.
I know. No, I mean, everyone. I was like,
am I doing the right thing right now?
I was like, but this is supposed to be good, right?
Yeah, everyone loves popcorn.
But when I tell people it was a popcorn store, they were like, oh my gosh, or someone would just lie to me and tell me later. They're like, dude, when you told me, I thought you were crazy. I was like, well, thanks for telling me. Yeah, you punk. But anyways, so we did that, and I just remember, like, the very first time I got things set up, I was like, oh my goodness. I was
Yeah.
like, I do not know how to make popcorn, you know? Like that guy showed me to use those machines, but I was like, what do I do? So I just remember sitting, you'll have to come toward the store.
Yeah, we'll have to do it.
These caramelizers, there's just these 2 buttons, and this is what we make all of our caramel and candy out of. And I literally just like stared at it. And I was like, is it going to buzz? Is it going to tell me when to dump things? You know what I mean? And so it took me a couple days to get that figured out. And I'm pretty sure my brother was there, but the very first time I set up the kettle, I didn't know how to set up the oil, and the oil just went everywhere. And I don't know if you've ever had to clean up oil, but it's almost impossible.
Pretty much.
And then like I would put way too much salt in the popcorn, but I thought it was awesome because I love salt. My mom was like, "You're gonna kill people," and you know, because at this time, you know, like my whole family's in there helping me get this going, and my goodness, man, like I just remember just ruining so much in the beginning, and then as I got it figured out, like now I have a whole cookbook that I've rearranged and made up flavors. You know, we have 65 flavors now.
Yeah.
And it's just hilarious because I just remember like, I probably should have known how to do this before.
You just literally jumped in.
Yeah, like I'm opening a popcorn store, but I don't know how to make popcorn. We'll get back to you,
Yeah.
you know? And so it was crazy. I just remember those first couple of weeks, especially after we thought we were ready to open. And you got to wait for all of those, the people to come in to like approve you.
FDA stuff, is
Yeah,
it?
yeah. And like
Is
health
it FDA?
code.
Is that right? Yeah.
Well, I'm trying to think. Health code, building, like I couldn't put a nail on the wall before I got some sort of license.
Oh, you're kidding.
And I couldn't, then when I built the frame, I couldn't put drywall on it till the fire inspector came in.
Yeah.
Inspections, that's the word I was looking for.
Yeah.
And so like I had to get inspections on inspections on inspections, and I didn't know this stuff.
Right.
You know, I was just like, I thought I want to open a business, I could just do
And
it.
you got to call the city all
Yeah,
that.
and they got to approve. But I mean, I remember we built a frame, put drywall on it. Then they're like, "Do you put drywall on it?" They take it off. We're like, "Are you kidding me?"
Yeah.
So we had to take it off. Well, they have to make sure it's all fire code, and in the buildings you have to use steel or metal studs instead of wood studs, which I never worked with metal in my life.
Yeah.
So that was awful, and I was like, "This is terrible." But anyways, we did all that build out, and then I remember the first time I cooked, they're like, "Well, have you got your health code?" I was like, "No." They're like, "You can't cook yet." So I had to throw all that away. And I was just like, oh, this is terrible. And then the last code, I literally sat in there for 14 days because there's no scheduling. They just have to show up and you have to be there.
Okay.
And so it was just like the worst thing ever. Like my grandpa had passed away. Okay. So I'm not there for a day, go to his funeral. They all came that day.
Oh, you're kidding
No.
me.
And you're just
Come
like,
on. Of all the days.
I mean, exactly. I was like, this is just some sort of weird, you know.
Then they just leave a letter on the door or whatever.
Leave a letter that's saying you failed.
Yeah.
Because you can't, you fail or pass. So I had to sit there again for like, so this whole time, like we have to start paying rent. This is when that comes. And I was like, surely, like, we're going to sell popcorn someday, you know?
Duh.
And then anyways, they finally got going, and I did a soft opening. I didn't have a sign yet because I didn't know you were supposed to buy a sign first. And then I found out how much signs were, and I was like, well, let's sell some popcorn first. And but I just remember, like, during that soft opening, I didn't have any employees, and I had a few, the Rumbaugh family from Tuttle came in, and they were like, we'll work for you. I was like, perfect. Go on. And so my brother helped me cook a lot of popcorn and getting open, but like other than like actual literal employees that I like hire and have fill out paperwork, I hadn't had. And so that was, I just remember like, I better get some of those employees, you know?
Yeah.
And I was just like, this is
better
crazy.
get some help.
Yeah. And cause I like, all I was thinking about was like, this is my first job. I didn't know how to give other people jobs, you know? At the beginning, it was real. That was tough. I had no idea how to be a boss.
How many flavors did you open up with?
42.
Oh, so quite a lot then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that was the thing, you know? I was like, this is what I'm selling it over, you know? And I opened and I just started cooking, you know, and I just kept making flavors. And because it wasn't, the grand opening was huge. We had close to like 200 transactions that day.
Really?
I mean, it was awesome.
That's good. That's great news.
Oh, dude, and me was like, this is how it's gonna be every day, you know?
Yeah, like tomorrow's exactly the same.
I learned real quick. I was like, ah.
Yeah.
But anyways, yeah, it was insane, man. Like, and a lot of it had to do with my hometown of Tuttle. I mean, I think
just
the
that
whole
community and
the whole
everybody.
town came, and you know, people from my college. I mean, there's people from the Moore just driving by. Like,
Sure.
I had this one lady that would like come in the door every day, like, y'all open? And I was like, no. And I'd be like sitting there building like the wall, and she's a little customer. I still see her. Call her Spicy because her favorite spicy buffalo.
Spicy.
Yeah. And but she was like one of my first customers, and it was crazy because I'd never known her.
Right.
But I have so many relationships, like this hat. This is a customer. He's a homicide detective and more.
Yeah.
And we just became so close. Like, I ate at his house.
Yeah.
And because he buys popcorn from me. So like, I've made a lot of awesome relationships, but that I just remember that grand opening day. Like, oh, this is awesome.
Yeah.
And
like, I'm actually onto something here.
dude,
This could work.
And people liked it.
I
You
can
know
pay
what I
my
mean?
rent.
Exactly. People liked it. And because it could have easily, they all came and like,
Right.
dude, bad idea.
Yeah.
You know? And there were some flavors that they were, you know, they're like bad idea, and I've changed a lot of them.
Mm-hmm.
But I just remember that day going like, this could work, you know? And I was like, you know, I almost wanted to cry. And
Yeah.
because, you know, it's just like, this is insane. And because, you know, the more you think about it, I was like, you know, if you like look at a bag of popcorn, like, this is how I make my living. I'm
Right.
selling this.
Yeah.
And that's kind of insane to me. And but yeah, like, so August through December, like by December, because of Christmas, I'd shipped to every single state except Hawaii.
You're kidding me.
No, a lot of because a
How
lot
do
of that
people
was
find you?
a lot of it was client gifts. So like, people would send their gifts, you know, Christmas gifts
Yeah.
all over the place.
But they wanted something that was made in Oklahoma.
Yes.
So are you in that made in Oklahoma
Yeah,
coalition
I'm
thing?
in the Mayo.
Yeah.
Or Mio, I don't know.
Something like that,
Yeah, the Made in Oklahoma. I'm a part of that. I think I got into that because his wife's
Okay.
aunt ran that, right? Something like that.
I don't know.
Oh,
Maybe.
one of Lindy's relatives did Made in Oklahoma.
Sounds like a podcast.
Oh, I was like, dude, don't do that to me. But yeah, I think she was a part of that. But that was ironic.
Yeah.
I got in that, then figured that out. But having Oklahoma in my name is
So that really
Been
helped
good.
you shipping. And is that a huge part of your business now? Shipping around
not
like
as
the
much
States?
as I'd like, because I had to build that website.
Okay.
Oh, we talked about that earlier. So
Yeah,
like
yeah.
that whole summer, I also had to build my whole point of sales, you
Yeah.
know, and I had to figure out how to price things. And my dad helped me out a lot with that because
Right.
he's a salesman. And
Yeah.
so we did that quite a bit. And then the website building, I did that. I just got GoDaddy and, you know, whatever.
Sure.
But
Oklahoma Gourmet Popcorn was like not taken.
no, I did ogpopcorn.com. How
That's
about
a
that?
pretty good one.
Yep, thank you. And because I actually, Oklahoma Gourmet Popcorn, I named it that because I wanted it to feel like it was
Special.
something we had that other people don't.
Sure.
So like, when people from out of town, they're like, hey, let me show you this.
Yeah.
If I named it Dave's Popcorn, you know, it's just
Yeah, it's just Dave's Popcorn.
Dave's Popcorn.
Yeah.
And people are like, well, who's Dave?
Tied it to the state.
I'm not interested in that.
Yeah.
But and that's one of my favorite quotes. If you don't care who gets the credit, you'll get a lot more done.
Uh-huh.
So like, I never really had intentions of naming after myself because I don't care if people, you know, I'm not gonna like, oh, it's Dave's Popcorn. Like, you're
Right.
Dave. You know, I want to name Oklahoma Gourmet Popcorn because I wanted people to feel like they had ownership of it, and it worked. I mean, people were like, you got to come here because they know it's nowhere else.
Yeah.
And I like the OGP aspect of it. Actually, on the back of our shirts, it says "You down with OGP?" Because I wanted to think of something that was like would get stuck in people's head.
Right.
So I took advantage of that song and
Nice.
changed the letters up, and that worked because like people call it OGP, and I was like, I love that.
Yeah.
Because if I ever do want to branch out, I can call it OGP. You know.
Right.
But
So what was like the ticket at the end of day one? What was the till? What was that? Do you know that number?
It was a little over $3,000 of popcorn.
Yeah.
And yeah, at that point I started doing math. I was like, $3,000 times
365.
I was like, ooh.
Doing that mad math.
Exactly. I was like, and then that's not how it went.
That's so funny. Everyone does that though. Everyone does that mad math. You're like, if I can get this every single day for the rest of my life.
I was like, I'm gonna be good. But I just remember just thinking like, this is awesome. And I was like, I was all hyped up. So I just remember like I took everyone out to dinner that helped that night, and I was like, I'll pay for it. And I was like, that's a bad idea.
Bad idea.
I was like, I forgot that I haven't paid myself yet, you know?
Yeah.
And I was like, well, all right.
So how quick?
Give me your leftovers.
How quickly does the Edmond store open up then?
So the Edmond store, December 8th, 2017.
So fairly quick.
Dude, yeah.
And then was that just like, it was a good opportunity? There was a location?
Well, a lot of it had to do with, I mean, it was, I don't know. It's so funny. When people ask me that, I'm like, I don't remember. Because, I mean, my brother had passed away in October of 2017. And I think that just kind of screwed up a lot of my memory. I don't know. Like, I literally was like, I don't remember why I opened that store. But I remember they were building that new stuff, the academy and stuff in Yukon.
Gotcha. Yeah.
And that kind of hyped me up.
Okay.
So me and my dad started going over there and looking at places over there. And then we didn't meet this guy. My dad had known him for a long time. He's like, I have an awesome realtor in Edmond if you want to ever look there. So it was kind of like the new development in Yukon sparked our curiosity.
Gotcha.
And then, because it was one of those things like we were looking, but not like looking.
Not actively looking.
And then this realtor just sold us. She was good at her job. And I love her. She's great. But
where exactly is it in Edmond?
33rd and Broadway. So it's a busy intersection.
Yeah.
It's right behind, like, on the border. There's the All About You over there, the TJ Maxx. It's and the Edmond Exchange.
Okay.
Yeah, we're right by Old School Bagel Cafe, Under the Sun. There's the Old School Bagel Cafe.
So you have Old School Bagel every day for breakfast, basically.
Well, funny enough, like, I used to eat there in Stillwater all the time because I had one. And I thought that was the only one there. Like, I didn't know there was more.
That's amazing.
And then when I got this Edmond store, I was like, you gotta be kidding me.
There's another one right
and
next
then
to
I
me.
met one of the guys that runs it, and he was telling me there was one in Moore for a while that I didn't know about. But anyways.
What's the go-to bagel?
Mile High.
Yeah.
Dude, that one's awesome.
All right. I'm like all meats, but I throw in a cranberry bagel to be kind of weird because I like cranberries.
Yeah.
I like fruit bagels. I don't know why. It's weird, but that place, it's very, very good.
Yeah.
People listening, they don't know what it is. They need to Google it for sure.
Yeah.
After Googling Oklahoma Gourmet Popcorn.
Yeah, or just Google Oklahoma Gourmet Popcorn. It's next door.
Yeah. Was opening day at the Edmond store as good as the Moore store?
It was pretty close.
Yeah.
That one, it was a little further from home.
Sure.
And it was the second time kind of thing. But I was a part of the Edmond Chamber of Commerce at that time, and that they brought a ton of people. And I had a lot of people come because it was, I mean, I keep bringing this up, but it was real close to after my brother had passed away. So I think a lot of people came to just be there with us necessarily. But I remember it being a pretty big day, especially because it was in December, because it was supposed to open in October. But so, that, life changes. And, so that was the craziest time ever. Like, I was working nonstop because when Thanksgiving ends, it's Christmas season.
Christmas is a really big season for you.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it's insane. And, Steve came and helped me pop all night before. Yeah. And, because I sleep very little during the month of December, and, which is fine. It's 1 month, and it's just like you gotta take it while it's there.
Oh, you have to, yeah.
You know what I mean? And because January, not a lot of people go buy popcorn.
You can sleep as much as you want in
gotta
January.
sell as much popcorn as possible during that month of December. And but opening a store in the same month as your busiest month ever, it's pretty chaotic.
Yeah, as well as having another store to manage and more.
Well, no, I didn't have a manager anymore.
I know, but something you were doing both. And producing for both as well.
Yeah, I had some cooks and stuff, but you can never stop. So, I mean, I would just, whatever store I was at during the day, I went and spent the night at the other one, you know, and but I don't mind that stuff because I feel like, I don't know, like, I think with sports, like, if it's not causing me some sort of physical pain, I feel like I could do more.
Sure.
You know, like, it's kind of like embrace the suck. Like, if it's really strenuous on you, that means you're getting better or stronger. And I know it's kind of funny, but I like it.
Yeah.
You know, and like I'll complain about it sometimes, like, what am I doing? But it just motivates me.
Why didn't I just get an all-field job or someone to give me a truck?
Exactly.
Drive around.
But like when I'm doing that and like I know everyone else is asleep, it gives me some sort of weird motivation.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, if that was year round, absolutely not. Sure. But it just being that month, I do like it.
Yeah. So obviously December's huge for you.
Yeah.
And let's talk like popcorn specifics because I know nothing about popcorn other than the fact that I like the caramel stuff and it's awesome, and that's about it.
Did you like those flavors I brought you a couple weeks ago?
I haven't touched them yet. I'm on a diet, so there will be. I think
nice,
going to be dominated very soon,
All
but
right.
I haven't
well,
had.
I might have to give you some fresh
I'm sure
ones.
I've had your stuff before.
Probably
have.
I hope so.
Yeah,
but
I think so.
But I'll give you some fresher ones as well.
So definitely. I mean, and I'll happily hand it out as well. But popcorn specifics, right? Like and I know we've spoke about this before we started recording, and we can talk about it again. Like, you know, what are you cooking in first?
So,
because people think about popcorn, they think microwave.
Yes, exactly. So it's a little bit bigger than the microwave, but we have a 64-ounce kettle, and we pop different types of popcorn. We do, like a butter popcorn. It doesn't have butter in it. Actually, it's just like this salt and coconut oil. Okay. And then we have another that we call low salt, and it is vegetable oil and just like, regular, just white salt. And from those two, we make, all of our cheddar cheeses, caramels, and then milk chocolates from the butter batch. And then the white, we make our white cheddars, like our dill pickle, and Southwest jalapeno, those with the white, and then our candy flavors. So like the blueberry, the red hot cinnamon, because it looks better on the color.
Of course it does.
That's pretty much why. And then we also do our white chocolates. And then so everything starts in the kettle, of course. And then if it's a cheese, we have a cheese tumbler for cheddar cheese, and then a white cheddar cheese tumbler. Okay. And then because we use real cheese and we use like actual spices, because that's the other thing is I wanted everything to be literally gourmet, So like our spicy buffalo is a wing rub. Yeah. And we use it on popcorn. Yeah. And and then like our banana, we're not actually throwing bananas in there. Like when the candy flavors, they're artificial, but we actually make the candy part from scratch. Okay. So that's I'll have to show you. That part's pretty cool. That part's pretty cool. It's kind of like a Willy Wonka factory when it's going. But so the caramelizers, so the popcorn takes, a couple minutes, and then like the caramelizers, all that takes about 45 minutes to an hour. Yeah. And the popcorn's only in there for a certain amount of time because once popcorn's cooked, you don't have to cook it anymore.
How many packs or whatever it is do you get out of one batch, I guess? So one cook.
So one batch of like popping? Yeah. So one batch of popping is about 10 gallons.
That's so much popcorn.
We pop in the hundreds of gallons every day. Yeah. Just because we have to make all these flavors, And
you have just buckets of storage everywhere.
Yes. And we only keep the popcorn in 10-gallon buckets because we want to sell it before it goes bad. So, but that's why we're cooking all the time. Sure. Because we don't store a lot of it. Yeah. Exactly. So it's all, of
that's
course,
good though. So you don't have any a bunch of wasted stuff.
We rarely ever do. The only time we do is like if we do those seasonal flavors, like when Valentine's Day's over, no one buys those anymore. So any leftover, it's like, please buy this. But because Valentine's was yesterday, they're like, that's old. Yeah. And you're like, come on. But yeah, we keep very little. We sell that stuff very quickly, thank goodness. Yeah. But yeah, and then like the caramelizers, that does 20 gallons. Okay. And then the fudge kettle, to fill our 10 gallons, you have to do it 3 times. And then the cheese is like twice. You just gotta, it just depends.
Yeah.
But I actually love cooking. If
I can tell you're buzzed about it.
Yeah.
It's like,
it's
good.
one of those things where, like, do you like mowing your yard?
no.
No? Oh.
I mean, like,
you like to run.
Oh, I run it. I wouldn't say I like to run, but I tell you what, I do like. I am satisfied when my yard looks good.
Okay.
I will say that.
Well, and
however, it is. I bought the wrong mower,
Okay.
so no.
See, I don't like mowing either, but like during the process, like kind of like driving, like I zone out.
I'd agree with that.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, and like cooking, that's what I like about that is like, it's like almost a form of meditation on accident. Cause
Sure.
like when I'm doing that thing, I just kind of forget about stuff. And like, that's what, like, I don't like mowing, but I like in the middle when I'm just like, I didn't even know what I was doing for the last 15 minutes. Cause I just kind of went somewhere
Right.
else. And, cause I have a bad tendency to just keep thinking. But like when I'm actually like cooking at the popcorn stores, which is what I don't need to do. I need to be out growing the business. But when I have to, I'm like, I kind of love it.
Yeah.
Because I just like, it's easy. It's like I have a task and I can just do it. Nothing's going to come up,
Right.
Unless the machine breaks, which that's the worst. But I actually like that. I like every single bit of the job. But I know for the business to grow, I can't do them. I got to get someone else.
Right. Has that been tough?
Here and there. I mean, employees can make your life really easy or really, really hard, so it's like just what's it going to be today kind of thing, but I actually have some awesome employees right now for sure. But just like with the business setup, it's turnover is just destined to happen by semester, because it's either they're in high school and they're graduating or they don't need a job anymore because they never needed one in the first place, or like college, their classes change, their schedule changes and messes with, someone. But like, you need them. And I've been really lucky with, the ones I have, but at the same time, sometimes when they all went off on the same, you're like, please don't do
Somebody
that.
come back.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So,
You said you have what, 64, 65 players?
yeah, I got 65 flavors.
Do you have a favorite?
Cinnamon bun and cheddar coated sea salt caramel are my favorites right now.
Okay. Right now.
Well, yeah, and I think so. I was telling you earlier about like, you ever get tired of popcorn? Well, like no, I might get tired of a flavor.
Right,
just
makes
move
sense.
on to the next one.
Yeah.
But I know like the like jalapeno ranch, jalapeno cheddar, those were my first ones, and then Oreo. I mean Oreo. I just posted about Oreo the other day because that was the flavor that I took. To like here. This is what I meant when I was opening a popcorn business.
Yeah.
Because it's a crazy, but it's awesome.
But it's good.
And that one flavor was, it was our bestseller our first 2 years.
Yeah.
Because I just was like, you have to try this.
Are there any flavors that you're like, that actually does well? Any surprise you?
Loaded baked potato.
Loaded baked potato.
Yeah. So I had my employees vote on a flavor we should come out with for Thanksgiving, and they said loaded baked potato, and I was like, that's gonna be hard.
Which ones what did loaded baked potato beat?
Oh, like, I wish I could remember.
Turkey, I assume.
No.
Like I'm thinking of my Thanksgiving dinner right now. Gravy.
Like a pumpkin pie. Like I think I don't remember. Man, I don't remember.
But baked potato was the one they
loaded
voted
baked
for.
potato is the one they went with. I wish I could. That's
And
funny.
you still
that
carry
asked
that?
Yeah, it's one of our best sellers.
No, that I'm
It's
shocked.
well, you should have been there when we were trying to make it, because I was like, how do I do this? And it's
Bacon, baked potato, sour cream.
It has,
cheese.
yeah. I'll show you how it's made, and you're gonna be like, what? And then you eat it. It's loaded baked potato, man. It's that one's phenomenal. When people come in and go, all right, what's a crazy flavor that people love? I'm like, loaded baked potato. They're like, no way. Then they try it. They're like,
I'll take some of that.
that's awesome. Yeah. And then the cheddar coated sea salt caramel is another one that is kind of weird because it's caramel coated in cheese.
Sure.
And that's something else.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Are there any ones that like you just kind of you don't put into production, but you just kind of make yourself, and that's your thing?
There's so the fried pickle, like we have that one that was made by accident. Like
Really?
one of the cooks was making dill pickle and then forgot and started cooking Southwest jalapeno. And I was like, let me try that.
Yeah.
And I was like, that's awesome. So I waited like 5 months because I don't need to come out with flavors all the time.
Sure.
Because, you I actually need to smash them down. Like
Yeah,
I need
you
to
need
go
to condense them a little bit.
I need to go through which ones don't sell. I've gotten rid of a couple, and no one notices. And I know that's when I did the right flavor, you know. And but sour cream and onion is the first flavor I got rid of, which is insane. But I think it's because everyone's so used to sour cream and onion.
Yeah, I
everything.
love sour cream and onion, like Pringles and chips and
they're
stuff.
like, it's good, but I've had that in some form or fashion. So I was like, I got rid of it. Not a soul has asked.
Great.
So I was like,
Nobody
smart.
knows.
Yep. And until I tell them, they're like, no way.
Yeah.
I was like, you don't even know.
And then because it's gone, they want it. Then.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But anyway, I kind of lost what was I talking about?
Just one that like you love that you don't really like make that often.
So it's not that I haven't, but I'm trying to make like a chili lime one.
Okay.
I haven't perfected it, but like I love Takis. Like I'm addicted to them, but they hurt my mouth, but I love them. And then there's this other one that's kind of chili lime, but I was like, as soon as I get this figured out, it's going to be awesome.
Yeah.
But every time I've made it, I've ate it all.
Nobody's ever getting this because they're going to eat all of it.
Because I don't want to sample anything until I'm like, all right, we're coming out with this, you know? And I definitely, but I mean, even though I love it, I'm like, this isn't it.
Yeah.
You know, I was like, I think it can be better. But I need some free time to do that because right now I'm just, I have a list of potential flavors.
Sure.
So like anytime someone, like customers, I get that all the time. People are like, you should make this. I'm like, okay. And I'll write it down because like coming out with a new flavor costs money because I got to get all new products, got to teach and stuff like that. And that's fine. I understand people don't understand all that insides of a business, you know, like why is this popcorn this much? Well, because it pays for me, this building, this, you know, all my employees. And but yeah, when like new flavors, I just because I have to redo the menu, I got to do
everything. Yeah.
It's just like it's a lot. Just
you can't just put a seasonal calendar on the counter and be like, hey, and on the website.
Yeah, it's so. I mean, the website is the hardest. I'll forget about like people are like, I'm trying to order this on the website. I'm like, yeah, I didn't put it there. My bad. Give me like 10 minutes. But yeah, like when you come out with a new flavor, it's a lot of like. Yeah, one of these days I won't have to do everything. That'll be nice.
Yeah.
And then they'll be sad when we just come out with new flavors.
And I know you said that earlier. It's not a case now of like taking over the world and opening up a bunch of stores. It's more about wholesale and how can we get this stuff actually in Walmart, in Whole Foods, like in Cool Greens, or not Cool Greens, but you know what I mean, like in places.
Yeah. And I don't know where you're going, but I think I want to start with Oklahoma businesses.
Okay.
You know, oh my bad, like On Q, Loves. I think Atwood's. They got an Enid.
I think so.
Okay.
Yeah.
So things like that, things where I can
tie into the Made in Oklahoma.
Tie into
deal.
the Made in Oklahoma, and also not.
Are you in the Oklahoma Hall of Fame yet? In the building? I'll figure that out. They have a shop. They have a store.
No, I'm actually partners with them though.
Okay.
Like, so I've donated and I've read some books to kids up there.
Yeah.
But I'm not actually in the store.
Okay.
And when you actually asked that, I thought you asked if I was in there.
Oh, yeah.
I was like, no,
not yet. Not yet.
No,
I'm
not
on the
yet.
list.
Yeah. No, I'll try and weasel my way in there one day. But no, I need things like that because I'm actually in 11 businesses right now.
Okay.
So I'm in like some drugstores, some breweries, some hotels, some pharmacies, things like that. But then
places you didn't think would even pharmacy, a hotel. That's just mad. Yeah.
No, and like the hotel. Actually, a hotel is what started me on it.
Okay.
Was I had met some people within the hotel business, and they were like, we want to sell your product in our shop. I was like, you want to buy my popcorn and then sell it?
Yeah.
I was like, that sounds amazing.
That sounds great. Yeah.
And so that's really what started me on it was that hotel. And then I was like, I wonder if other hotels will.
Yeah.
So I just started bringing samples to hotels and they started buying my popcorn, you know?
That's awesome.
And like some of them, like that, the Embassy Suites in Norman, the huge one, they buy my popcorn instead of cooked popcorn. So they don't even sell my popcorn, but when they have those big events, they buy my popcorn and set it out. And I've built a great relationship with them.
Right.
But and I love hotels. I don't know what it is about them. But so I like it because I get to go to all these hotels. I just feel pumped up when I go in. But, and then the other ones that just kind of came through networking, through meeting people, and I was like, this is crazy.
Yeah. So what's what's goal for this year? What's 2020 business plan goal?
I wanna get 25 more wholesale businesses.
Okay.
And with my goals, if I get that, I'm adding 25 more. I'm not gonna say check and I'm done for the year, but I want to get 25 businesses, and then like if I get it on queue, well, then
if you're getting one, then you can get in plenty more.
Well, they're not gonna. Well, I gotta go talk to them because they supply. And I think the way it would go is they'd probably do a trial run at some stores.
Sure.
But if I get in with on queue, that might check off my 25.
Yeah.
But then it goes higher, and then but if that happens, I guess I gotta figure out how production goes too.
Sure.
So, but those are problems I want. I want problems
definitely.
that like, how the heck am I gonna handle this business? You know? But. So that is the goal for the business, and not to do any crazy ventures. So every year, the first year I opened one store, the second year I opened another store. The third year I did the first, I'm talking about like 2016, we're open for 4 months. Opened
the
that
actual
store.
first year of business. Yeah.
Then 2017, I opened another store. 2018, I did a seasonal one at the Outlet Mall. In 2019, I signed a deal with OSU, which was so much money to like sell out their football games. And I was like, man, just chill.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, so I'm going to like no more new surprises, no more crazy stuff. And
how did the OSU thing come about?
Well, I'm an alumni.
Yeah.
And they pretty much reached out to me because I wanted popcorn in their concession stands. Because
they reached out to you?
Yeah.
That makes it even better.
I mean, well, I thought.
Yeah.
I thought until they were like, all right, you have to pay this much money to sell your popcorn here. I was like, you gotta be kidding.
You had to fork up a bunch of money and be like, hey, this is for the opportunity to did they come to you and pitch that to you? For the opportunity to sell your popcorn here, you have to pay us $1 million.
and they sold it.
Yeah.
I'm not saying the numbers.
You're not saying, yeah.
No, because I still love the organization. It was just a lot of money, and
but you paid it.
I'll tell you off here. And
so are you in the stadium?
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's clearly gone well.
No.
I was. Do you not want to talk about this,
dude? No.
Okay, we don't have to talk about this.
No, I'll tell you.
Right.
It's a part of it, but but yeah. So we did that, and I was so amped up. I mean, it was one of those things where like. Yeah, we had to pay this money, but they were like, there's 60,000 people there. And I was like, dude, we're going to sell
It's a big deal,
60,000 bags of popcorn every, I was sitting there counting. I was
doing the math
I was
again.
like, I'm retiring in 2020. Yeah. And nope. In fact, I got to sell a lot more popcorn.
Yeah.
But so that happened. And being an alumni and my business starting there, I was like, this is coming for full circle. This is going to be awesome. And I got 2 booths. So on top of, paying that
number
hefty partnership fee to sell out their games, I also had to buy equipment.
Sure.
And I also had to...
And you got to leave it there, right?
I had to leave it there. And I have it back now. And then I have to find more employees. And then I have to spend all those games there the whole day.
Yeah.
And... I thought I was going to make that money back the first game with easy math. Nope.
No.
Then second game, no. No, it was like, it came out to be a loss. And
for the first year?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But for the only year.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? It was one of those things where like, yeah, if this worked out, it would have been awesome.
Right.
Or if I didn't have to pay that fee, it would have been amazing.
Yeah.
But I have to. So I was like, that ain't.
So that's done for this year then?
Dude, yeah, I'm not doing that. It's just like.
Good experience though.
It was great.
You're going to learn a lot from that.
You have to do things. Sure. You have to be dumb to get smart.
Yeah.
And it was just one of those things. And that was the second time I've done that. so I was like, no more, because the outlet mall was the same thing. I was like, oh, just get in, get out,
traffic, all the rest of it,
and it's just not the way it works, And but yeah, I was like, this OSU thing's, this is it, baby, like, let's go,
This is my Walmart.
Exactly. And but that's just not the case. But so as in no new ventures that but like wholesale, I don't mind having to buy new equipment because we're making too much popcorn.
Because you got to cook and supply.
So that's kind of the route I want to go. It's not necessarily, in football season, there are 6 games.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
A lot of games. Is it?
Exactly. Like you have to. I'll tell you the number and you can do them.
Yeah.
And but it was just it's just one of the things you're so mad about, but I'm so happy I did it because it motivated me to find another avenue.
Sure.
And that's life. It's
right, because if you don't do it, you never know that it's not a good thing to do, and then you don't. Now you're like, okay, I've done it. It wasn't the best thing for me, so I'm not mad if I don't do it again.
And it's not it's not stupid unless you keep doing it.
Right.
You know what I mean? And but I'm happy I did it, and I wish I could say I had some awesome memories from it, but it was mainly.
You didn't see a game all season.
I didn't get to see a game
seasons.
the whole season, and I had to beg people to work for me.
Yeah.
Because no one wants to give up there.
Yeah.
And then after the game, we do all the closeout after, so I'd be there for 3 hours after the game, just please. Oh. But it was an experience for sure. But and it was so funny because it's when people see the multiple locations, they're like, oh, you're doing awesome, And then when they saw me partnership with OSU, they're like, dude, you made it. I was like, I paid for this.
Yeah.
And so it was pretty hilarious. But yeah.
So where can people so you have a website and social media channels, all that stuff. How can they order popcorn? How can they ship it to their family? How can they do all that stuff?
Yeah, so we ship out of both locations if you so happen to be close enough to come to a store. We can send everything from there, or at ogpopcorn.com. You can order it on there and get it shipped to your house. If you live close to it, we have Postmates, so you can order our popcorn on there and have it, delivered straight to your house. And then, but on social media, I think on Instagram we're Oklahoma Gourmet Popcorn 2016.
Yeah.
All the other things are taken, so I just have to spell it out. And then on Twitter we're OG Popcorn, but and you can just have messages with us on any of those to get things figured out. But we don't necessarily take orders on Facebook, just because that thing can get lost in the madness. But but we can definitely get to a spot on there for sure.
Do you ship internationally?
No.
So I can't send popcorn to my mom and dad.
You can. You can. I'll do it for you.
Yeah.
But there's a whole process, because it's food, you have to go to you have to fill out.
It's a nightmare, is it?
It's a nightmare because I've done it. I can't do it on my website because I don't have that set up. I didn't even know how to figure it out.
Yeah.
And then at the store, I can't even do it with my little shipping system. I have to go to a shipping location because I have to fill out. I'm
not going to put you through any of that.
I will for you.
No, it's okay.
For sure. Either you have to do it.
I'll just have them come here. It's much easier. So, we'll do a tour of the popcorn.
Exactly.
Of the factory and of the store, and we'll when they come into town.
Yeah.
But actually, my aunt is in town. Well, when we're recording this, my aunt lands tomorrow night.
Oh, perfect.
So I think she loves popcorn. If not, she will before she leaves. So
I like it. Yeah.
Okay, awesome. Well, I'll post all the links down below and all your handles and tag you and everything.
Oh, thank you.
For everyone listening, they can go to that and 65 flavors. Literally get anything you want. You have to try the baked potato, loaded baked potato. I'm going to have to try that because that blows my mind. But yeah, man, really appreciate your time.
Oh, dude, I appreciate it.
Thanks to Steve for letting us use the studio again. And guys, thanks for listening. We'll catch you next episode. Cheers.
This podcast was presented by the Oklahoma Hall of Fame, who've been telling Oklahoma's story through its people since 1927. Follow them online at oklahomahof.com and definitely on Instagram at oklahomahof. Catch you next episode. Cheers.
Thank you for listening. We are inspired by those around us and hope that you are too. Make sure you subscribe to this podcast on your favorite podcast platform and leave us a review so we can keep telling your stories. For more great Oklahoma content, follow This Is Oklahoma on Facebook and Instagram.